Hey, so I wanted to shoot a video for you today. I've been seeing some gardeners locally here in Middle Tennessee kind of fighting with the weeds, and you know, from an organic standpoint, we don't spray anything. I wanted to kind of share with you some of the things that we do. So we use a flame torch and we torch our weeds down. So you know, we don't have a huge weed problem. As you can tell behind me here, I kind of left this. I was out flame weeding yesterday. I was just taking this torch and going out through here and burning this. And you know, you can see one side of it here is kind of brown. On this side where I've got salad mix, it's starting to come up in my row here. So I torched that side yesterday, and you see it's brown. It's going to die down now. And then I've got this side over here, which is kind of green, and this is all just crabgrass. So Middle Tennessee, we have crabgrass, and we have this stuff called Johnson grass. And Johnson grass is just, man, this stuff is crazy. Like it's these little tubers that go under the ground, and they just spread out and kind of branch out everywhere. And it's just nearly impossible to get rid of. So you just gotta kind of maintain it and just kind of beat it down. So typically this time of year, gardeners in Middle Tennessee are kind of one of two things. They're like, holy cow, I've got a weed problem and I don't know what I'm gonna do. So you try to fight the weeds with whatever, with spray or whatever, or you just go out and you hand weed stuff, which is really time consuming and it's bad on your back and everything else. Or they just say, the heck with it, I'm just gonna give up and I'll get what I can get out of my garden, and that's just the way it is. So obviously we don't do that. We try to manage the weeds the best we can. Typically, when you have weeds in your garden, you're going to have a whole lot of other problems with it. So you're going to have a lot of insects that don't need to be around. They're going to come in, and obviously the weeds are just going to choke out your vegetables, which leaves, you know, poor quality. The plants aren't getting the nutrients that they need because the weeds are actually sucking the nutrients away from the plant. So I just wanted to shoot a quick video for you today. I got two different torches that I use. I use this big one right here for just going down through the middle of a row, and I have a small one that throws out a little bit smaller flame, so you can kind of get in between plants and stuff. And I'm just going to show you kind of what we do here. So I just take my torch here. Adjustment thing. That's it. Pretty simple. And I'll do this all the way down through there. It won't take me long. And then tomorrow I come back, it'll be really brown, kind of like this over here. I did some other rows yesterday, so I'll show them to you. But then, so if you can tell here, I'm going to kind of move the camera to the right here. I've got a row of cucumbers down here, and then right here I've got I don't know what these are called. Megan planted them. I think they're Mexican sour gherkins or something. And so I've got this torch right here. This torch is a lot smaller. You can actually find these at like Home Depot or Lowe's. I think I've seen them in their gardening section. Or you can just go online and buy it. But this little thing right here, she's got a little propane canister. You hook for like a camp stove or something. And I mean, it's really simple to use. I mean, you just take it and you light it, and then what you do is it shoots out a really narrow flame, and you just kind of get them between this stuff with this, just like this, and you can get them to. You're not going to be able to get every single little tiny weed. Like if there's a weed right on the plant, obviously you're going to have to go up and pull it. But that's kind of how we manage the weed pressure out here. I'll take you over to yesterday. Well, here's one yesterday. We actually we harvested everything in this row yesterday. I can't remember. Oh, it was lettuce. We had salad mix in this row right here, and it was just done. We had cut it like 3 or 4 times already, so we went ahead and we pulled it out and we composted the rest of it. And then I came in here with a flame weeder and I just flame weeded what was left down. And then as soon as I got finished flame weeding it, I just came in with a fresh layer of compost and just put down on the bed. Now I'm just gonna let that bed sit and kind of let that compost soak into the soil there. And then here's a bed that we did yesterday. Just kind of along the sides, we flame weeded. You can kind of see over there is more salad mix. But this bed right here, so another way to manage weeds is it's a technique that I use, especially early spring. It's kind of weird, but what you can do is you can work your ground up, and then you can let the weeds kind of take over, and then you can take that big flame torch like I had, and then you can flame torch everything down, and then you'll basically have a sterile bed. That's what I did with this bed right here. So obviously, as you can tell, I got radishes coming up in here. These are a warm season radish. They're a little bit smaller radish. They only get about the size of a quarter, but they're a warm season radish. So the good thing about radishes is they grow pretty quick. You can have them in about 25 days, and they grow really quick. And so what they'll do, they'll actually choke weeds out. So as you can tell, I'm not going to have to weed this bed for the next month probably, because these radishes are starting to come up. They're starting to get pretty good size, and these things will take off. There is some grass in here, some crabgrass, but it'll get choked out because these radishes are already much bigger than it. So that's the good thing about that. So that's another technique you can do. You can get your bed ready like you're going to plant in it, and then let the weeds kind of take over it, and then come in with a flame torch it down, and then try to get all the residue and stuff off the top of the bed, and then go in and plant your crop. And then you'll still have some weeds, but it won't be nearly like it is for most gardeners. So here's another bed that we harvested yesterday, and this one looks a little bit rougher than that last one because I haven't done anything to it yet. But this was a bed of they were French breakfast radishes, and so we harvested every one of these yesterday. And then, as you can tell, the weeds were starting to come up big time in this, and so we harvested. And then I came in with the torch, flame torched it down, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and just kind of clean this up, and then I'll put just about an inch layer of our compost on it, and just let this bed sit. I don't know, I may plant something else in it, but that's kind of how we manage weeds. Just a flame torch, man. It's an organic way to do it. Yeah, you're burning propane, but man, I'd much rather burn a little propane versus throwing a whole bunch of harsh chemicals on my soil. So anyhow, here's a bed. Let me show you this bed real quick. Here's a bed that we got it ready. Here's a perfect example. We got it ready, and I'm just kind of letting it go. I'm letting the weeds kind of take over. And what I'm going to do is probably in a couple days I'll come here and just put my flame torch on it, flame all this stuff down, and it'll pretty much mitigate the weed problem. And then I'll be able to plant whatever I want to in it. So that's kind of how we manage weeds. There's another way you can do it. This is probably a little bit more of an, this is organic way too. If you have access to hay or grass like we have several acres of field around here. We can just we can take the bush hog and cut it down, and then we can just rake up the hay, and that's what we did here. And then put this down on our cucumbers right here. And this will basically rot down, and it's just organic matter that goes back into the soil. While it's rotting, it's obviously keeping the weeds down too. So as you can tell here, there's pretty much no weeds in here. So that's another way you can do it. It's pretty labor intensive to do it that way, but you can. And again, the benefit of it is obviously keeps the weeds down. The other benefit is it's organic matter that's going back into the soil. So anyhow, if you have any questions, let me know. I'm happy to help you out and wait as much as I can. come see us. We're selling out here off our farm, Smith Family Farm. We're here in Lebanon, Tennessee. Right now we have radishes, we have salad mix, we have oh man, we have several different kinds of radishes. We have eggs, we have some head lettuce, romaine lettuce, and we'll probably start getting tomatoes here pretty soon, but we're just not quite there yet. But anyhow, come see us, drop me a line, let me know if you have any questions. Smith Family Farm, Lebanon, Tennessee. Thanks so much. Have a great day.